anyone can find themselves in a survival situation in an instant. Unforeseen weather, injury, getting lost, and many other scenarios may turn a pleasant day outdoors into a life-altering and life-threatening experience.
There are basic essentials or tools that everyone should carry when they venture outdoors, especially in an environment like this, where it's cold, it's wet, and it's rainy. This is when a survival situation is going to take place. Ultimate Survival Technologies, or UST, has developed basic essential survival tools that everyone can use.
One of the most critical elements of survival is the ability to make fire. There are 3 essential elements to building a fire: a heat source, oxygen, and fuel. Ultimate Survival Technologies provides tools to ensure you can start a fire anywhere, anytime. The Blast Match has many features that make it unique from other fire starters on the market.
The Blast Match was designed around the idea of flint and steel. It was developed for single-hand operation. In the event that you had an injury to a hand or to an arm, you'd be able to use your other good hand or your other good arm. It also works ideal with gloves on. To expose the spark bar of the Blast Match, simply push up and away on the cap, bring it down and around, and stow the cap under the body of the Blast Match. The Blast Match has a spring-loaded spark bar that rotates to allow for even wear. The spark bar is not a magnesium fire starter. It mixes several metals together to produce hot, intense sparks. The carbide striker is perfectly set to help produce those hot sparks. To use the Blast Match, simply place your thumb on the thumb tab, put the spark bar in or around your tinder, and with a gentle, constant motion, push down to produce the hot, intense sparks. If you don't have a firm surface, simply use your index finger and in a plunging motion, push it back towards your thumb and the carbide striker to produce your sparks, while applying direct pressure on the thumb tab. Although the Blast Match was designed for single-hand operation, you can use 2 hands. If the Blast Match gets wet, just wipe off the excess water and strike again. You can't do that with regular matches.
The Strike Force is a 2-handed fire starter that uses the same high-performance mixed metal spark bar as the Blast Match. With an externally held 420 stainless steel striker, the Strike Force has easy-to-grip handles, making it ideal for cold conditions when skin exposure is dangerous.
The Strike Force is held together by a lanyard. To access the spark bar and the striker, simply loop a finger through the lanyard, wiggle the cap off, then you'll expose the spark bar and the striker. There's also a tinder compartment that's accessed by pulling the bottom off. In order to use the Strike Force, simply take the striker, place it on the spark bar at an angle that produces the maximum hot, intense sparks. If the Strike Force gets wet, simply wipe off the excess water and strike again. You can't do that with regular matches. The Blast Match and the Strike Force are designed for all weather use every day as well as extreme conditions. Where matches or other fire starters may fail, you can count on these tools. Whether you prefer the one-handed Blast Match or the more traditional 2-handed Strike Force, these high-quality tools are made in the USA and will last for thousands of uses.
A good fire starter tinder is another critical element of the fire building process. Wet fire is an all-weather tinder that actually burns longer when wet.
Wet fire is an odorless, non-toxic fire tinder. In order to use the wet fire, simply scrape some shavings from the cube and ignite with your Blast Match or your Strike Force. Now, the wet fire burns at 1300 degrees, so if you need to dry out your fire materials, simply light the entire cube. Now, the cube burns for over 10 minutes. Because the wet fire cube cools instantly, you can smother it and use it for later use.
The Saber Cut Saw is an important tool with many uses, You can use it to collect materials for your fire, build a shelter for protection from the elements, and clear hiking trails and roadways. The Saber Cut is very compact and lightweight, compared to carrying a long, straight saw blade.
The Saber Cut saw is a hand chainsaw that's made out of a real chainsaw blade. It has teeth that are designed to cut in both directions and to be self-cleaning. The Saber Cut is attached to two hand loops that are designed large enough so that you can use them while you have gloves on. The teeth can also be sharpened with a normal chainsaw sharpener at any time. To use the Saber Cut, simply place it around a dead standing tree or a limb, insert both hands into the loops, and cut with even strokes using the entire saw, not just the middle.
Another essential is the ability to signal for help. The Star Flash Signal Mirror is over 90% as reflective as glass, yet weighs less than half an ounce.
To use the Star Flash Mirror, reflect light from the sun or another source such as the moon or a flashlight onto your hand. Bring the Star Flash Mirror to where the bottom rests on your cheek like this. As you look through the aiming circle, you should see a holographic image of the sun in the form of a fireball. Take the Star Flash Mirror and your head and turn it towards your target and put that fireball on your target. As long as that fireball is on your target, they should see a reflection from the Star Flash Mirror. The Star Flash Mirror is virtually unbreakable, eliminating the chance of it shattering and causing injury, let alone becoming useless. Also, the Star Flash Mirror is outstanding for water environments because it floats. The Star Flash Mirror can be used with pinpoint accuracy. It can be seen in excess of 100 miles away, especially on a clear day over water.
Another option, besides the visual signal from a mirror, is using audible noise, like a whistle. The Jet Scream Whistle is an ideal way to communicate to a search party when lost, or with those in your group.
To use the Jet Scream Whistle, simply place your mouth over the opening and blow with force. The Jet Scream Whistle was designed without a P or a BB so that it won't foul or freeze during cold weather. The Jet Scream emits a loud, high, piercing noise that is audible over most natural and man-made noises, and is one of the loudest high decibel whistles on the market. Its flat design was created so that it could be worn up against the body or put in a pocket and not create any discomfort.
One of the easiest ways to make sure you have all of the essentials you need is by building or purchasing a survival kit.
Ultimate Survival Technologies, or UST, has created two survival kits that contain all the devices we discussed today. Both kits contain the blast match, the wet fire, the Star Flash Mirror, the Saber Cut saw, and the Jet Scream Whistle. Now, the Deluxe Survival Kit comes in a hard, crush-proof case that floats, weighing about 1 pound. Now, the Aqua Survival Kit comes in a waterproof bag weighing about 11.7 ounces, and it can also be used to carry an emergency supply of water.
Ultimate Survival Technologies is dedicated to creating high-performance tools that save lives. We are continually developing new, innovative products. Please visit our website at www.ultimatesurvival.com to learn more about our products and upcoming product releases.